heed the warnings as you get them. Let's go back to the studio.
All right, thank you for that, Dr. Forbes. We're going to get a lot of rain here in the Sunshine State as we head into the weekend. We're expecting an area of low pressure to develop. We still have that onshore flow that's already brought in a lot of moisture and a lot of rain to many spots here in Florida, but we are looking for things to pick up even more as we head into the weekend. Right now, moving into Miami, the red here on the radar showing us where we do have the heaviest rain. So just south of Fort Lauderdale into Miami, getting hit pretty good with that rain. And then around West Palm Beach on farther to the north, around Daytona Beach, also seeing some of the stronger storms move in right now. So we are seeing some storms right now. We have been, and we're going to continue to see even more of this pick up as we head into the weekend. Still that onshore flow in most areas. You notice the arrows, they're pointing to land, so the air is coming from the water onto the land. The blues showing us where we have the strongest winds. Not as strong as they were earlier, but nonetheless, it's something that we're going to have to watch. You have the wind coming around this area of high pressure and what will soon be an area of low pressure. These lines tightening up. Basically, all you need to know here is this is going to be some strong winds whenever you see that happen. Area of low pressure developing could bring some amazing amounts of rain when it's all said and done through Monday. Some spots could end up with more than 8 inches of rain. We also have the coastal concerns to go along with this as well. Could have some very rough surf with the gusty winds out there, leading to some rip currents. So it's going to be dangerous potentially to be out at the beaches. And by the end of the weekend, there might not be as much beach because we could see some beach erosion with all of this rough surf acting up. And we're talking about from Miami Beach, the complete southern tip here of Florida, all the way up to the Georgia coastline, including Tybee Island. Over to you, Kelly.
And Chris, you know, we saw a similar situation in Florida back in October of 2007. Jim Cantore was on Singer Island where Tropical Storm Noel contributed to the extreme beach erosion. Here's a look at the damage that could be done.
As we get closer and closer to the high tide, you can see the same thing going on here. Just continual pounding of the waves coming in, breaking right at the beach and taking with them a little bit of Singer Island here. As far up as we can look on the beach, you can see massive amounts of beach erosion. Not a couple of feet, not 4 feet, but at least 10, 15, 20 feet in spots where what happens is, even with the lower tides, if the waves break enough and they run up the beach, which is what we've seen all the time, they're taking the bottom part of the beach. And as they take the bottom part of the beach, gravity takes over and the top part falls down. So it's almost a continual beach erosion here. Here's a great example of what we're talking about. Let's come over here. You can see how the water is coming in here. It comes in, breaks at the bottom of the sand dune. And as it breaks at the bottom, it takes away a little bit of the beach. And eventually gravity takes over and boom, that's the end of it.
Ooh. Still to come here on Weather Center Live, Texas finally getting some much needed rain. We'll tell you how much and the effect it could have on the state's drought conditions. Plus, the Chicago Marathon has moved dates the past few years based on some bad weather experiences. Now runners will line up at the starting line Sunday morning. We have a preview for you coming up. And live right now, Times Square here in New York City. Just a few cars moving along. You know what? Excellent weekend on the way for you in the Big Apple.
When it comes to saving energy, we're off to a good start. But now it's time to go to the next level. So let's do a little detective work. Pick up what we need, roll out, caulk, and install. And pretty soon we're seeing the fruits of our labor right there at our bottom line. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Owens Corning EcoTouch Attic Insulation is only $9.97 a roll.
Tune in Saturday for the Home Depot Project of the Week. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Whoa! That smells clean.
That's the power of Pine Sol, baby.
Hi.
Hey.
Stay. Okay, some things are worth the wait, like the PetSmart Treat Your Pet sale. Save up to 50% on hundreds of toys, treats, apparel, and more. Don't miss these great deals Friday through Monday only at PetSmart.
When you have diabetes, your doctor will say, get smart about your weight. That's why there's new Glucerna Hunger Smart shakes. They have carbs steady with carbs that digest slowly to help minimize blood sugar spikes.
New Glucerna Hunger Smart, a smart way to help manage hunger and diabetes. they brave the deadliest conditions.
Heavy seas, heavy surf, it's not a good combination.
But when Alaska's weather is at its worst, they're at their best.
We all do this job to save lives.
Coast Guard Alaska premieres November 9th at 9, only on the Weather Channel.
How's your weather?
Find out at weather.com/social.
Now you're local on the 8th.
Well, with that disturbance we're watching in Florida, rain could be a serious problem for Hollywood crews shooting a movie in the Atlanta area. In fact, I took these pictures of folks painting the grass green to make it look more like summer, since the lawns typically start to fade this time of the year. But if rain hits the neighborhood, who knows? That green paint could be spreading to the streets. Chris?
And we are seeing a lot of brown still in Texas. We are going to start to see some rain return to that part of the country and the central U.S. Good news, of course, for the drought, but it does come at a price. Our storm master explains in tonight's Forbes Factor.
The central and southern plains have been in extreme to exceptional drought for months, but they're going to get some very heavy rain this weekend. By the middle of next week, though, the dry air returns. This week, heavy rain courtesy of a stalling out front. There'll be moisture coming at that from the south and east. The richest moisture will come right off the Gulf of Mexico toward Texas, parts of Oklahoma. Farther north, the moisture won't be quite as high for areas up farther along that front because it's not coming right off the Gulf of Mexico. That front won't move very fast to the east because at the surface, there'll be a big high pressure blocking its eastward path, and the jet stream aloft will be going almost parallel to the front, nothing to push it. That's Saturday afternoon's forecast. Look, hardly any movement by the time we get to Sunday night. Still that heavy rain zone that sets up over the central and southern plains. The jet stream, though, begins to push eastward from the Pacific Northwest so that we get to the middle of next week, and that will have pushed the front out of the area. That's Wednesday night, and the rain ends, and then we get into Thursday. And